Guys, Hydra Legends, welcome to the video. Send some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. If you're going through something out there today, sending my love your way. I say it all the time, and I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears or just get repetitive white noise in the background. But we get to decide, we get to decide how we react to things that happen to us, and to spend a lot of time with aggravation, anger, and frustration over things that we ultimately have no control over in this world. It's going to turn you into a miserable person. Not to say that there's not things that happen to us, obviously, that do require periods of being upset, right? Obviously, that's how we deal with those things. But ultimately, you do have the power to get through it, to see the other side, right? That's coming from somebody who has been at low lows at time in life. I guess probably a natural segue into Raid Shadow Legends Hydra Clan boss news. I started covering this when it looked like changes were going to be made to Hydra, and then I gave the update when the changes were implemented to the game, or right before they were, and then I give another update about the community reaction to those changes. People are very upset about Hydra Clan boss. Even though it didn't affect me, I can still one key on all the difficulties, right? Just calling it how it is, right? I still find the overall experience to not be as fun, with the exception of the time limit decrease, Like, it feels weird not decapitating the head like you used to. It almost feels like this kind of sucks, this version of Hydra Clan boss. Now, people are naturally resilient and resistant to change, so maybe it's something I could get used to. But outside of all the drama around the stuff, rightfully so, and the overall sentiment, which we're going to talk about Plarium's response today, I just find the overall experience to be it feels so off and weird. Like, I don't know. What about you guys? Let me know, and let me know how it's affected your accounts. You guys have already let me know a lot. I've read through the comments, and I can totally understand, obviously, the frustration. The 85%, I'm covering it up here, but 85% of you guys are generally negative or worse about the Hydra Clan boss changes. And hey, even a free couple of Immortal Soul Stones and a Primal Shard, the appreciation gift that everybody has in their shop, you didn't claim it yesterday, is not going to fix that, unfortunately. Although, hey, nice of them to give us a token apology here, but it's a band-aid over the proverbial bullet wound, isn't it? In this case, in this regard. So they've responded today. After I cover this video, their official response to all the community anger and outrage and strife right now, I probably will end the topic here. I'm not going to continue uploading. People are mad about Hydra videos, forever, until they do something about it, right? Or until I have an actual, more tangible update for you guys. But I did want to kind of put a bookend here on the conversation, as Plarium has finally came out and said what they will and won't do in terms of the future of Hydra Clan boss. So let's get to it. Guys, before we get into the official Plarium response regarding the Hydra frustration, I will, by the way, stop and kind of interject my opinion from time to time when we read through this. But I do want to kind of set the table and turn back the proverbial hands of time for Oracle, the same community manager. Last year, or earlier this year, I should say, we had this as an official response to somebody in the public Discord server complaining about the Yumeko and Trunda teams. As of our plans right now for Trunda and Yumeko, we consider Hydra teams with those champions difficult enough to build. So the huge damage output is well deserved. Thus, there are no plans to nerf any of those at the moment. So to be fair, they did say at the moment. So, I mean, things do change, right? But I do find it interesting that they said the damage output is well deserved. That was the official Plarium response for a long time. And then they came in and they did nerf Trunda, but they basically nerfed two of the most popular teams, including Wixwell teams, right? And what do? They also buffed the hell out of Hydra outside of all the balance changes, right? And I think that's the biggest source, reading through your comments, right, of frustration here. And it kills me, guys. It really does. I hate to see players quitting, right? Even selfishly, like my viewers, like you're my viewers. I like chilling with you every day. I like talking about Raid. I like reading what you're going through, what your experience is, and it's a bummer to see people leave the game. So I don't want that, certainly. But at the same time, I can understand. I really do. This time I understand, because Hydra Clan boss is so important in terms of the resources, and they buffed Hydra so much without buffing the rewards or anything else, and it just left most of the player base feeling absolutely disenfranchised, So anyway, I do find that earlier comment on Trunda and Yumeko interesting. So what do they say? They say, first of all, we agree that the Hydra beast became tougher and more challenging. the buff to Hydra for every player, regardless of what team you're using, what champions you're using. But this boss is part of the end game content, and it shouldn't be easily defeated by relying on a few specific champions or mechanics. It is a beast after all. We want to thank you for sharing your opinions and latest changes and encourage you to keep doing so. But from our side, we will carefully monitor how Hydra performs as a feature, and we'll be ready to take further steps to balance it if needed. I don't know, man. I think the community would not be happy right now unless they just straight up roll back the changes and then nerf those two champions or whatever, you know? Like, nerf what they needed to nerf. Don't change the most popular feature in the game. And I think we're pretty much good. Like, obviously, some people are always going to be unhappy, but I don't know. Obviously, monitoring is not what people want to hear. Let's just call it like it is, right? Secondly, thanks for your attentiveness. We discovered some bugs in AI behavior. Basically, some players observe different numbers of damage in the Hydra Clan damage summary. Okay. Right now, Corpulent Cadaver is able to deal damage through Hydra Serpent's Will. This is not normal. Will be fixed. Poor Corpulent, always getting the, hey, he should not benefit. He's a rare. In the situation indicates it necessary, we are open to the possibility of adjusting the difficulty multipliers for Hydra Clash in the future. So adjusting the difficulty multipliers for Hydra Clash. So basically making the rewards a little bit easier is how I read that. When I initially read it, I'm like, okay, they're open to changing Hydra Clan Boss. No, Hydra Clash, right? And then they're monitoring Hydra Clan Boss. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't want to be like super overreactive and say that they screwed up everything. But at the same time, it does feel pretty crappy right now, the overall sentiment of the game. And the appreciation pack, although appreciated, is really, again, like I said before, it's not really going to change anybody's mind who is thinking about calling it quits on Raid. And it's just such a bummer for me because I feel like I'm kind of, there's nothing I can do or say that's going to change anybody's mind, certainly, right? And even though I don't want to lose viewers or lose the community to some extent, I understand and I'm empathetic to the changes and how they have impact players. And I do think that this one was a miss by Plarium, you know, I really do. Before I saw it in game, I'm like, okay, I want to try to keep an open mind, even though this seems really bad. And now that I see it in game, it kind of feels bad too. And like seeing all my clanmates bumming out, all you guys bumming out, Reddit always upset, especially over this one. It's just like, damn it, man. This sucks. This really sucks. So as I said at the top of the video, I mean, what else can I say at this point? I've given this feedback to Plarium. I've obviously made enough videos covering this. Would love to hear one more time if you guys have any updated or revised opinions. Does anybody out there like these changes? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know how your clan's been impacted on this, how your clanmates are talking about this. I'm always interested to hear perspective from people outside my initial little orbit, you know? So guys, that's going to do it for the final update here until we have new and hopefully some positive news, although I am not going to be holding my breath. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.